Today's video is a viewer requested video and talking about emotions and feelings through activities with our kids. So I have a whole bunch of games and activities to show you, and I even have a giveaway that's sponsored by Junior Learning. They also sent me some things to show you to go along with these activities, plus I'm going to show you some other things that you can do at home right away. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. I have done a few videos about emotions and feelings before in the past. I'm going to put them down below if you want to go check out the older videos to get even more ideas and inspirations. But today's video is really unique because it has a giveaway sponsored by Junior Learning. They have several different activities and games that you can do that are ready-made to talk about feelings and emotions. So I'm going to show you those. Plus I have a couple of other activities to inspire some ideas so you can talk about these things with your kids. When we talk about feelings and emotions on the Purple Alphabet, you guys tell me you really like those kinds of activities and want more ideas. So I'm excited to do this video for you. So let's get on to the activities and then I'll talk about the giveaway at the end. First up, we have the Match and Learn. These are emotional dominoes. It's recommended for ages 4 and up. Woo, hello, popping things off here. We have 28 pieces in here, so I'm gonna open these up really quick so you can get an idea. I like that it comes in this tin, by the way, because you can just store them right there and it's all together. So we have 28 dominoes here, and as you can see, there's a picture drawn and also a picture of a child's emotion and face. And so this is great when you're trying to help your child understand empathy and what other people might be feeling in different situations. So you can talk about the faces on there. What I would recommend is initially going over each dominoes and using them kind of like a flashcard almost, saying this looks like somebody is in pain, maybe she hurt her head. This looks like somebody that, well, it's not somebody, it's a drawing that's happy. And so discussing what those emotions are first before you get started in an activity like this. But I do like that they have both a drawn and then like a real life example. And then once you kind of recognize what these emotions are, then you can play this game just like you would dominoes. I think it tells you here, it tells you here on the back how to play, and so you can have the instructions right there if you don't know how to play dominoes. Or you can adapt it to the skill level of your child. If dominoes isn't their cup of tea, you could say, can you find the child that's happy or the child that's scared? And then you can try and find them that way. Or you can cover them all up and then do one where you pick one and then you flip it over and talk about it. So there's several different ways you can use this and kind of adapt it, but the main goal of this game is doing the dominoes, which I think is a brilliant way to start talking about the emotions. And these are just really good starting points to talk about emotions and to talk about what these other children in these pictures might be feeling. I also think it's pretty cool they have different ages too on these. It's really important for me to give you some ideas that you can just do with simple household items that you might already have. So what I have here are just some plain index cards. You could use paper, construction paper, and something to write with. And for this one, it's going to depend on your child. So if you have a child that can't read yet, you're going to put emotions on these cards, but just draw them out. So for example, here I could just draw a happy face. You can do a mad face, angry face, or you could cut out pictures and paste them on here. If you have a child that can read, I would just go ahead and write the emotion on here. Something like this. So this becomes a game, like that game Heads Up. So you know where you take your iPad or your phone and you put it on your forehead, and then everyone in the room has to give you clues so you can guess what that word is that's on your forehead. So it's the same thing. So you'll have a whole bunch of these cards and you will pick one, not knowing what it is, and put it up against your forehead. And you won't know, but everybody else in the room will, so everyone else in the room has to give you clues or act out this happy thing until you guess the correct answer. So this becomes a really silly and really fun with the little ones, and it's a great way to kind of explore the emotions and act them out and learning to label what they are. So I like that we're learning to label here. So try it with all the different faces. Emoji faces are also great. You could draw your own, cut pictures, or you can do the words and just get maybe a handful, maybe 6 emotions or something: happy, sad, angry, crying, tired, that kind of thing, okay? Real simple, real easy, using the things that you already have in your house. And if you want, and you have the game like this, you can always just take one of these dominoes, cover one up because there's 2 on here, and then use that as your flashcard against your head. So another purpose for these, which I think is great. Already done for you. I'm bringing out the Dollar Tree dry erase dies. I also have seen these on Amazon in different packs. Target sometimes has them too. So if you're in the market for these, they're a great tool to have because you can use them in so many different ways. You can see ours are very well loved as we've got marker spots all over them, and my kids actually like doing things on their own with them. But you can buy these one for $1 at Dollar Tree, and they're usually in stock. I see them pretty frequently. And what you also need is some not dry erase, actually wet erase wax markers because it prevents it from coming off without using like a wet wipe or something. Here we're making emotion dice, feeling dice, whatever you want to call them. On one you're going to put questions. Okay, so I have a couple that I wrote in here already. This one's, how do you feel when you are ... and then tell me a time that you felt blah blah blah, and then you can fill it up. Some other ideas that are not written on here that you could use would be, what can you do when you feel, or what do you do if someone is, or how can you tell if someone feels, and then what is something that can make you feel. And then this die, you're going to put that extra part to the question. Tell me a time that you felt, so you can put sad. Tell me a time that you felt angry, happy, all those emotions on here, excited. Okay, so fill up this one with the emotions and this one with the questions. And so now you have a game. So when you roll these, and they're all filled up, of course, and it says, how do you feel when you are excited? And so you have a great conversation starter. You can roll it again and get another question. How do you feel when you are sad? So it's another fun tactile way to do learning. This is a great group activity too, or one-on-one with your child. So if you're in a classroom or your teacher, or you do a homeschool, it's a very fun way to be interactive and to roll them. Or you can roll them across each other in a circle, so you have a little bit more of a group activity component to that. Once again, some of the questions you can use are, tell me a time that you felt. How do you look when you are? What can you do when you feel? How do you do if someone is? And then how can you tell if someone feels? And then what is something that can make you feel? And then that's amongst a whole bunch of other questions. Those are just some examples. And then on this block, you can put all of your emotions: happy, angry, sad, excited, scared, frustrated, worried, concerned. All those kinds of words can go on this block. This one is a big one. It's called 6 Health and Wellbeing Games, and you can already see that this is for ages 6 and up, and we have 6 different games in one here that you can play. I want to open it up and show you a few. Looks like we get the instruction card. We have a couple of game pieces in here. We have a spinner that I need to put together real quick, a die, and then we have 6 game boards, and they're double-sided, so there's one game on each side of the game board. So I like that it's pretty compact because it just folds up pretty nicely here. And then there's game 5 and game 6. So let me kind of just show you what we got going on here. So in this game, it's basically you're taking turns to roll the die and move around the board from home to school. And then you have to answer a multiple choice question. So there's questions here on each of these spaces. I don't know if you can see that very well with the camera angle. If you get the answer right, you stay where you are. If you get it wrong, you move back to where you were. So the object is to get from the starting point home all the way to the finish line, which is school. Also, what's really cool here is that the directions of how to play are right on the board, and then also on the instruction sheet, can I talk today? It tells you the answers here, so in case you aren't sure of the answers, they're right there. So some of the questions are asking you in which direction should you look before crossing the road, and it gives you some choices, up and down, left or right. Is it a good idea to cross the road between parked cars, true or false? And so this is going to be striking up some very good conversations. And not only that, as a parent, it's going to be kind of telling you where you need to work on, those little areas that maybe you quite haven't covered yet, you haven't discussed. This is going to help you determine what those areas are, I guarantee it. Is it safe to walk alongside the road when there are no paths? The car is coming, you should cross the road quickly, or you should stop and wait for the car to pass. Excellent conversation starters, but it's in game form. So as parents, this is a game you can play with your kids to really make sure that they know all of the rules of the road. Like this one. Okay, and on the back side, this one is called Hazard House. So it's a whole house, and the game board goes all the way around. We use the die on this one, and then counters, which I haven't pulled out yet. Let me get those. This one is when you land on a space, you look for the hazard in the room that matches the corresponding color of the space. And if you spot the hazard and explain why is it hazard, you stay where you are, and if not, you move back to your space. Okay, so we have different things in here. So you would start over here, this is the start and finish line, and you would go across the board. If you rolled and you landed on a blue, then that means you go to the blue house, and you're looking and trying to find out why this bar of soap that's in the picture is a hazard in this room. This is a lot of observation, critical thinking, and understanding of why it's a hazard, because then you can fix it if you're ever in that situation in real life. So in this picture right here, I see the soap, the bar of soap is down here on the floor, so somebody could slip on it and fall. And so then we need to clean it up. So it starts up those conversations of what we can do to solve the situation. Let's try another one. Over here we have purple, and I see a chair. So if I go up to the purple bedroom and I find the chair and I see that's fallen over on the floor, why is this a hazard? And once again, if you're not sure, the answers are written right on the instruction sheet too, in case you need a little cheat sheet. Opening up the conversation and being aware of what's going on in your surroundings is a great one for this one. And so this one uses the markers, which we use in that one I just showed you to, and the die to get through this game. Okay, let me show you some more because these are good, you guys. This one is called a clean escape. This one also uses the counters in the game, so we'll use those depending on how many kids we have. And then we're taking turns with the spinner. Here's our germ spinner, which tells you how many spaces to go. And it determines where we go on the board. So we move around the board according to the spinner. There is a question on each one. And if you answer correctly, you move forward. If not, you move back. So we have questions like germs can be spread through the air by touch or both. Which is it? I'm not sure. Or when having a bath, it's important to thoroughly wash your armpits and feet or your shoulders. Is it unhygienic to pick your nose, cough, and not cover your mouth, or both? Conversation starters, you guys, I love this. This is so cool. And it just really brings things up to the forefront. So this is everything about cleaning, germs, that kind of thing. And then we flip it over. There go our counters. This one is called School Run. We have the same concept here where we have our counters, and then this one uses the other side of the spinner. You see we have a little person with a graduation cap on there, and we're answering questions over here about things that might occur in school. After using the toilet, you should always wash your hands, brush your hair. Which one? You drop your paper towels all over the floor, you should tidy them up or leave them there. When the teacher is speaking in class, you should look at your friend, look at the teacher. So this is everything involving situations that might run into school. And when you're done with these games, guys, look how easy they just fold right up. I mean, it makes it so much nicer. So this is a little bit of smaller board. This one is the recycle plant, and it has the different recycling cans on it. And then this one gets used with some of these pieces, the square pieces. So let me pull all those out. These all come with the game. So in this game, you're going to be following the rules here that are right on the game board. But essentially what you're doing is sorting all of these cards into the correct bucket or the correct recycling container. And what you can do, this one says foil tray. So let's say you put it in plastic, right? Because you don't know. Your kid might not know. And then you can turn it over and self-check. No, that's not plastic. It goes with the metal because it matches the blue card. So you'll be working on sorting all of these and checking your answers to make sure they're right. We have things like glass bottles, tuna cans, plastic bottles, just your common things that you'd have in your house. Milk carton, so your kids can begin to recognize what is recyclable and what category it goes into. Then on the other side, we have the last game for this one. It's called Plate Up. And this one, I'm gonna just kind of push these aside, uses these other cards here in sorting the different food groups. So we have cream here, that would be in dairy, and we can check our answer by turning it over. Things like corn, there's bagel, there's chocolate, there's broccoli, powdered milk, and it goes through so many different ones. Just with this set, there are 6 games in here, and it covers all of those topics. The food groups, the recycling, we have the school, we had germs, we had hazards in your home, and we had things to look out for when you are outside on the road. I'm kind of just stuffing it all in here because it's so much. You guys are going to like this one. I love it. I think it'd be great for teaching kids. Another activity using household items, I just got these note cards here, and I picked the note cards because they were just a little sturdier cardstock, but if you have cardstock, you could use that. And then I'd also suggest, there's one there, maybe using some lamination once you're done with this, and then I have a clothespin here. So I'm gonna divide this out. You can print this out on the computer if you want to be a little bit more crafty. I just want to show you some quick ideas that you can do. I'm gonna do 4 emotions, you can do more. We have a happy one, a sad one. I guess that could be my angry one. This can be my just kind of maybe bored. I don't know. You can name whatever you want, so I'm gonna label them too. Do these according to the emotions that your children tend to have. Laminate this. Of course, I'm just doing this really quick here. You can make it far prettier. You can have your kids draw the pictures. You can print them out, like I said, and make far better pictures than I have. I've always told you guys I'm not the artist. And then laminate it if you'd like to have a little bit more sturdier. And so this is your emotional regulation chart. And if you train your child on how to use this, then it could be a great tool in assessing their emotions, especially if they're not able to label it. And so then they can move the clip according to what emotion they are at. I've also read that you could use this throughout the day so that way you get the variety of emotions, and they can say that right now I'm happy, or let's check in and see where you are today. It's after lunch. What are you? Oh, you're angry because you didn't get the food you want. Okay, we'll move it down. It's an interesting concept to try. I don't think all kids are going to be able to use this or want to use it, especially when they're angry or sad, in which case you can be able to move it for them. And I don't think all kids would like this kind of system, but I think the visuals and then actually moving it actually triggers something in the brain to kind of like really think about what's going on. So if you're able to use a tool like this, I think it's amazing. It's a suggestion to try. You can also use it for their child to say, you know what, you look kind of sad. I'm going to move the clip to sad, so that we're labeling the feelings and then we're looking at the picture that associates it with. Something very simple, very easy that you can do right now. Here we have Recipe for a Friend, ages 5 and up. This one's for 2 to 4 players. It's a matching game. So inside we have our game board, which is really great quality. Just tickled that this stuff is so fun. And it folds open like this. And then we have these 20 good friend cards. And so these are pictures of friends doing things and having some characteristics, like this one shares, this one's helpful, this one's caring, kind, polite, understanding, is rude. So there's 20 good friend cards and 3 bad friend cards, which is the ones that are here in red. So we place these cards, I'm gonna mix them up here a little bit, face down around the game board. And then you flip 2 cards over and try to make a good friend match. And when a good pair is made, player takes those cards. If not, then the cards are put down and the next player plays. If you get a bad friend card, it goes inside the pan. And the player with the most cards, after all 3 of those bad cards have been turned over, is the winner. So you play this like a memory matching game, but you're trying to recognize what is a good friend or what is a bad friend. So you'd go over and match and say that didn't match, friendly, this person says nice things, and you're looking for those bad friend things to go in here. I think this is an important skill in recognizing what makes a good friend and what makes a bad friend. And once again, these are story starters. If you also want to extend these, I highly recommend using these as examples. So tell me how you were a good listener today, or another day, tell me how you were friendly or somebody was friendly with you, or even tell me that something nice that you can say to a friend tomorrow, and being proactive about it. So these are actually great flashcards along with the game and can go a little bit further. These are also great story starters. I talk a lot about doing stories with your kids, coming up with stories from pictures, and this would be a great story starter. Tell me a story about a friend that's been kind to you, or make up a story where they are kind to each other. Conversely, you can take those bad friend cards, like here's one selfish, and do the same thing and talk about a situation where somebody maybe was selfish and why they were selfish. I love it when you can use games and toys with your kids and extend them a little bit farther than their original purpose. So those are some great things that you can do with these cards. It's already done with you, plus you get a game. Now for the giveaway details. I always say it like that. I don't know why. But now for the giveaway details. If you would like to win this package of 6 health and well-being games from Junior Learning, please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me how you would use this in your house. Make sure that you are subscribed. You know, you want to subscribe anyway because we do lots of videos like this and give you lots of ideas and inspiration so that you can learn through play with your kids. And then you can head over to the official giveaway link, which is down below in the description box, to officially enter to win. You must be 18 years of age or older and have a U.S. postal address, and I will be ending the giveaway on the date seen on this screen. And in true Purple Alphabet fashion, why am I singing now? Can't sing, for the record, just in case you didn't know. I will have bonus entries throughout social media, like this one on Facebook. Look for the post, follow the instructions, and enter for extra bonus entries when you do that giveaway link that's in the description box. There's lots of different ways to get those extra points too. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Subscribe, thumbs up, all the good stuff, and I will see you next time.